Hello family and welcome back to the channel. In today's edition of Photoshop tutorial series, we are going to look at how to design an attractive flyer for a church crossover night service. So if you are interested in learning how to do this in easy step, let's get started. Alright guys, so now we are in Photoshop. So the first thing we want to do is we will set up a new document for our design. So to do this, we will just go to File, click on New, and then start typing the name of how the document should be saved in Photoshop. So we will type crossover night service. We will change it from millimeters to inches. We change the width to 6, and then we change the height to 6 because we want it to be in a square form. And for the resolution, we won't touch it, color mode to RGB, and then we hit create. Okay, so now we are done setting up the document for the design. So the next thing we will want to do is we create a background for the design. So to do this, we just go to the layer panel, we click on it, and then we just go down to the create new fill adjustment layer. Select on the gradient, and then we click on gradient, and we come up to the preset over here. We click on purpose and we select the first one, and then come down and then click the first gradient stopper and then input the values. Okay, so now we are done with that. So the next thing we will do is we bring in images to fill these portions over here. And if you want to follow along this tutorial, I have the link in the description below, which you can access the resources that I use in this tutorial. So we'll push the image up a bit and we'll start stretching it. And then what we will do to this image is we will add a layer mask to it, and we hit on B to bring our brush, and then we go to the brush settings, and then we reduce the hardness, and then the size to reduce it down. Make sure you have the foreground color of black. You can increase the size of the brush if it is smaller for you, and then the opacity too can come down a bit. Then you start erasing the hard edge of the image. To reduce the opacity of the image, we bring in another image. And then we push that one to the corner up here, and then we change the blending mode. We'll reduce the opacity of it and apply a layer mask to it. Hit B for the brush tool and then start brushing. We will bring the logo of the church up here, and then we will write the name of the church too beside it here. You can see the layer behind this logo is distracting, so we can click on it, and then we click on the lock icon here to get it in place. Next, we'll write the name of the church here. I'll change the font to Cinzel. I think the Cinzel board will work pretty well here. From here I can reduce the size of it. So now that we are done with that, we are going to bring in the images of the pastors. We can make it smaller. So now we can see that the bridge image is on top of this pastors image. So to do that, we just go to the layer panel and then we click on the pastors image and then we move it up. So next, what we want to do is we want to remove the background or the white section around this image. So to do that, we will just easily go to the magic wand tool and then we click on it, because it is one basic color, white. So it will be easy for us to use the magic wand to do this. We just click on it. Then we see that it has selected almost all the white areas around the image. What we're going to do is we right click on the image and then we rasterize the layer. Press Ctrl X to get rid of that section. Then we bring in the next image. I want to, we can make it smaller. And then we place it here. So we will let that one go under the first layer. So we are going to crop, so we can use the magic wand for this one. So we are going to use the pen tool. And I have tutorial on how to use the pen tool to crop. So if you haven't checked that yet, so now that we are done removing the background of the image, we are going to apply a layer mask to each of the three, and then we remove the hard edges of the image over here. Take the brush tool and start brushing. Okay, so next, what I'm going to do is we're going to introduce the main text down here. We may change the font. And then we remove the text tracking from this text. What we want to do next is we are going to add some cool effects to this text over here, so it will look kind of 3D. So to do that, we go to the text layer, we double click on it, and we choose bevel, emboss, okay, chisel hard. We set the depth to 95, size to 9, softness to 5, angle of 35 degrees. Next, we select stroke, size of 18, position outside, blending mode, luminosity, opacity 27, and then we change the color. We select outer glow. We change the blending mode to screen. Change the opacity to 35, noise to 41, spread of 7, size of 69. So from there we go to gradient overlay, then we click on it, and then we change the blending mode to normal, and then opacity is 100. Click on gradient, change the first values to, and then the second values to. Click on OK. So what's left for us to do is we will bring the venue, the time, and then the date over here. We're going to create a rectangle under this layer and change the color. Then we will click on filter, blur, then we go to motion blur, click on rasterize. You can decrease the distance and hit on OK. Then we bring the text layer above this rectangle. We'll change the font of this text. So next we are going to bring in an image of Facebook and YouTube to be the live streaming and then the social media handle for the event. Okay, the next thing we want to do is we don't want this area to be plain like this, so we are going to bring in an image. So now we are going to apply a layer mask to it. Hit on B for our brush tool. We reduce the opacity of it. You can also change the brightness of this layer. So what we just did is going to affect all the layers beneath this particular layer. So if you want it to affect only the layer that we just brought in, you will select the layer on top of it, and then we press and hold the Alt key, and then in between of these two layers we see this down arrow here, and then we click on it. Then it's going to affect only this image here. Let's decrease the opacity of it. So the next thing we are going to do is we are going to add the names of the pastors So the very last thing that we want to do is we are going to make the overall background a bit darker. So to do that, just go back to the layer panel. We click on the background gradient, we create another layer, and then we go to the adjustment, click on solid color, and then we change it to click on OK. I think it will be better if you move it up. Click on the layer mask, and then we pick our brush and then we reduce the opacity down to about 10. The next thing we are going to do is we are going to bring in some flare. Change the color to yellow. As you can see, the layer that we just created is covering the down here. So we go there and then remove those layers up. So the very last touch we are going to do on this design is we are going to create some flare color over here, and then I think here we pick the brush tool and then we sample a color. So we want the yellow, and then we increase the opacity a bit, decrease the size of the brush, and then we brush here a few more times. Remove that layer down. And then we create another layer. You can change the blending mode to see how it may look like. I think this is fine. So this is it before and then after. Before, after.